Welcome to Greater Good Radio Hawaii, where we develop tomorrow's leaders by bringing you up close and personal with today's top business people. Greater Good Radio Hawaii is dedicated to social entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Evan Leong, and with me is my co-host, Carrie Leong.
Mahalo, Evan. Today's guest is Wally Amos, known for his tasty chip and cookie cookies, and more recently recognized as a literacy advocate who shares a story about his cookies, Chip and Cookie. Chip and Cookie also has a retail location in Kailua. Wally has also been credited with founding the gourmet chocolate chip cookie industry. Please welcome to Greater Good Radio, Wally Amos.
Greater Good. Here I am.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you guys for having me here, man. It's really a pleasure. I love the name of your show, the Greater Good, because I think ultimately everything happens for the greater good.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for being here. Can you tell us a little bit more about Chip and Cookie, what you're currently doing with that company?
Yeah, well, Chip and Cookie are two chocolate chip cookie character dolls, as you mentioned. They were created by my wife, Christine. Christine is an artist. She created these little dolls about 18 years ago. So we've been playing with them for a while. So this is the latest reincarnation, is the store in Kailua. And things are going very well. And the whole focus behind Chip and Cookie is children's literacy, where we are using these characters to help create awareness for reading aloud to children. Reading aloud is just the best way to get kids interested in reading, to have them pay attention, comprehension, imagination, connects the brain cells. It does so many wonderful things. And it really does get kids interested in books. So I've been involved with adult literacy for 26 years. And finally I said, well, if ever I'm going to get rid of adult illiteracy, the best way to do it is to create a generation of children that can read. So that's the task that I have assigned to Chip and Cookie. I want them to eradicate adult illiteracy by getting kids interested in reading aloud. So we had a little reading aloud area in the store where I read on Saturdays when I'm in town, 2:00 to kids. And parents, parents actually come in the store and sit down and have a few cookies and read aloud to their kids, man. I have a nice little library of books there. It's a wonderful, very gratifying thing.
So do you get the children to read aloud too, or is it mostly the adults reading to the children?
No, it's the adults reading to children. I'm interested in that birth till first grade. So obviously they can't read, but we want them to become readers. And the best way to have them become readers is reading aloud to them. So I'm interested in parents, I'm interested in adults. Like my Rotary Club, Sunrise Rotary, we've had an activity where we've gone to the school right next to where we hold our weekly meetings over at the Pacific Club, Royal Elementary School. So, I want people to understand how important this is, and I want everybody to get out, find a kid somewhere, read to them at least 10 minutes a day for every day. It'll change that child's outlook on life and definitely on books.
Has there been an occurrence or an experience that you've had in your life that has made you so passionate about this literacy?
No, there has not. When I started Famous Amos, I realized before I started Famous Amos that there would be some organization that I would promote, because I think to have a business just to make money is not what's happening. And so ultimately, I started Famous Amos in 75, and in 79, I became national spokesperson for Literacy Volunteers of America. So then, I had a nonstop, tenure of really very intensely promoting adult literacy. And about, 8-9 years ago, something like that, an organization started here in Hawaii called Read to Me International, which Len Wahe is the president of, and I was like one of the founding members, and I'm still on the board of advisors. And then I started visiting elementary schools, and I started reading children's books. And I said, this really is, first of all, it's fun. And dealing with those kids, man, it's just absolutely incredible. So that began to shift my focus. And now that I'm involved with Chip and Cookie, that all I do now is promote reading aloud. I am so single-mindedly focused on that I have no distractions, and people call me about so many other things, but all I want to do is promote reading aloud.
So does that mean that the Chip and Cookie chocolate chip cookies and that area of the business actually supports the Read Aloud program as opposed to Read Aloud supporting.
Oh, no question about it. We have formed our own foundation. It's the Chip and Cookie Read Aloud Foundation. And as we become profitable, we're only 3 months old, so we're not profitable yet. But as we become profitable, we will donate 10% of our net profits to the Chip and Cookie Read Aloud Foundation. And my goal is to have the business take care of itself. And I've got a great guy, a guy named Jeff Van Ness, who is president and chief operating officer of Chip and Cookie. So between he and my assistant, Patty Kelly, they're very capable of running the company. And we need a few more people on board to help them do that. And we'll find those people. But in the meantime, I want them to run the company. I'll handle the PR of the company and whatever sales activities I need to. But I want to be more involved in the foundation side. I want to get this whole literacy thing going. And I'm making great headway. You know, I've had an event already in Savannah, Georgia, in conjunction with the Children's Library there, with the public library. They had Savannah Children's Book Festival last November 19th. And we had our first showing, our first event at that. And we have a campaign called Read It Loud. It's Chip and Cookie Read It Loud. And you can go to the website, chipandcookiereaditloud.org. So we had our first event. I am deeply involved now with the Boys and Girls Club of America and looking for ways, and we've identified a few areas that we can really partner. Dr. Seuss's birthday is coming up next year in March, but this year in March, and so we're going to do some stuff with that. But there's a Read Across America that's coming about. We're going to do something with that. So I'm partnering with other organizations right here at home. I'm working with Good Beginnings. Liz Chun, who's president of the organization, I've had a couple of meetings with she and her colleagues, and Bob Midkiff, founded that and is very supportive of Good Beginnings. So I've had some casual conversations with Mayor Hanneman, because I'd like to have a Read It Loud campaign countywide on Oahu. Imagine this little small community if we could just bam, have reading aloud be mentioned, be talked about everywhere you turn, man. Well, I want it to be as important as video games. I mean, it's more important than video games, and yet video games get so much attention. But let's create that fervor, that kind of excitement for reading aloud. Yeah.
You're listening to Greater Good Radio Hawaii. Please visit us online at greatergoodradio.com.